Welcome back to another episode of Celestial Do, a space where we explore our inner world, where storytelling and spiritual tools deepen our connection with ourselves and the universe. My name is Rocio Celeste, and this is my soulmate and constant companion, also my co-host, Nougat Cósmico. We are here to share our experiences and open a space for insight and transformation. So settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey inward. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about mandalas and how I use them as a meditation tool. I've always liked coloring. I'm not really good at drawing. I've never been very artistic in that aspect. But I like coloring every now and then. Except that I found when I discovered mandalas, and I discovered that this is it's just like a technique that we can use to come back to ourselves. I tried it and it really irritated me. I got really irritated. I remember it was 6 years ago. I was sitting in my dad's house and I started coloring. And it's like I found it so difficult because everything was so tiny and I had to change colors all the time and I couldn't progress. But then I realized that it's about meditation. It's about coming back to the present moment. It's about being here and now. That's what it's all about. And I thought of what we like to say, mindfulness. I found that this was like a mindfulness technique. And today I want to share this with you because it was a friend's birthday and I thought a lot about what I was going to give him as a gift. And then I realized, oh, why not buy this? And I bought like a really beautiful book where he could color, and I explained to him and he didn't know. He's like, what is this? And then I realized, wow, not everyone knows. And I thought if people know it, everyone knows what a mandala is and what it's for. So I'm gonna use this one that I have had for a really long time. I'm gonna use this to explain so that if you get the call to use it, you buy yourself your own. You can buy one for what, like $10? So here it has the explanation. Mandala means wheel or circle in Sanskrit, an ancient Indian language. Over thousands of years, the world has been connected with many spiritual, cultural, and decorative meanings. So that's what mandala means. And then here it explains a little bit more. It says, the mandala is one of the oldest symbols in the history of human civilization. The Incas built their cities so that they radiated outward from a center. That's how they built their city, the architects in the Inca Empire. While early North American tribes embodied their entire cosmology in a sun wheel mandala. Wow, look at this. It's very, very useful information here. And here in this page, it says, the perfect circle of the mandala is reflected all across the natural world. From the sun and moon to the pristine design of a snowflake and the nucleus of an atom. Wow, that's so true. That's very, very true. Isn't it true? Do you want to turn the page? You want to show them a little bit? Show them. You want to turn the page? Earlier you were crazy. He was like, yeah, I want to turn the page. And now he's all calm. It's like, okay. Okay, so the thing about mandalas is about you relaxing, you meditating, you coloring. It's not about making it perfect. There's no right or wrong way. You really pick the colors, you really decide which one you want to do, how you want to do it. I can show you an example of one that I started. So this is an example of one that I started a long time ago, and this is how it started to look. See, so that's just an idea. That's just an idea of how you can do it. For example, here it said, match your palette to your mood. If you are in a contemplative frame of mind, head for the blues and greens. So, the circle is a meaningful symbol in many religions, cultures, and philosophies. It signifies never-ending or eternal, but equally, it can embody a completeness or unity. Mandalas are often drawn and viewed from the center of the circle outward. So for a circle, and then it's like what comes outward. Try increasing the darkness or intensity. So when you're coloring here, it's giving you tips as to how you should paint your mandala, how you should color your mandala. So it says try increasing the darkness or the intensity. Also, mandalas have been used as a decorative device. So really we see them everywhere. They have been everywhere in the world. It says here, a mandala can be produced in many different ways. Some are constructed on the ground using sand or colored grains of rice, while others are engraved, painted on walls and floors. And of course, in modern times, they are produced digitally. But honestly, you can see here how tiny it can be and how irritating it can get when we're trying to color and we're trying to create this beautiful, beautiful colored mandala, but it's taking forever. That was my experience. That's how it felt when I was trying to advance and I was trying to just move forward and have it ready and pretty, and it was taking me hours and hours, even days. It's like, oh my God, I was so wanting to give up. But then I realized this is what the whole purpose of coloring a mandala is, so that I'm not like, stressing and trying to control and wanting to get it done right now and right here. Oh my God, it's so irritating. But then it's like, okay, the here and now, the present moment. So coloring a mandala, it's about being here now. All my presence, all my attention, all my energy here. Here. So pick color, and then I come back to myself. Because it's very, very easy to get out of our center. So someone yells at you, someone honks at you, someone screams at you, something happens, and boom, we get out of our center. So the idea is to always be coming back to our center. Come back to your center. And I found that coloring mandalas is a wonderful, easy, and fun, sometimes a fun way to come back to our center. Okay, come back. And it's very accessible. We all can have a mandala. You can even print it. You don't have to buy a book. You can even print it online, go on the internet and print a page and color. You can use it for yourself. You can even do like whenever you have an activity with your friends, you're hanging out with your friends, suggest an activity. Say, hey, how about we do a mandala night? And then we all bring our colors and not crayons, because crayons are really thick, but just like really, really thin. If I can find mine. Where are mine? Well, I'll get up in a little bit, but now he's comfortable. And I'll show you in a little bit the ones I use, but yeah, I think you can tell which ones. They're really thin with the ink. Well, I went quickly to get some. These are the Stabilo. They're not the only brand. Obviously, there are other brands. I'm not like promoting the brand or anything, but I have these and I have others, but there are so many and I just didn't want to make him uncomfortable. But you know what I mean? Like the ones that are really, 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 really thin and tiny at the top. So The tip of it makes it easy to color. Very, very tiny details. This is a good thing to start. For example, here it says, in Buddhism, the mandala is rich with symbolism and sacred meaning. At the heart of Buddhist teaching is the wheel of life, mandala, encompassing the philosophy of a cycle of life, death, rebirth, and suffering. So this here, for example, is telling you to create your own rose. Create your own rose mandala. Think of the outlines for the shapes within your mandala as the lead. Then imagine the light illuminating the amber, lime green, navy blue, and violet colors. So it's giving you an idea of which colors to use. Once again, it's up to you what choices you make when it comes to the colors you're going to use. And you're going to concentrate on your eye coordination. For example, this one, oh my God, it's like you really, really, really have to coordinate your eyes. And this can also help you here. For example, it says, this focus can help stimulate brain areas related to motor skills, creativity, and the 5 senses. So we often don't think, oh my God, we're coloring just a mandala, but in reality, it's doing more for ourselves than we think. In this case, stimulate the 5 senses, creativity, and things related to our motor skills. How wonderful is that? So don't take it for granted. Don't think, oh my God, this is just, I'm a millennial, so we grew up, like writing everything on paper with a pencil. And now I find like everything is digital. We type on our phones, we use our iPad. We're always like on the screens, on the tablets, and that's very tiring for our eyes, for our mind, for our brain. My brain, I have to be honest, I get fatigued from staring at the screen. Like all the time, like all day long, screen. This is why I like going on walks and going on nature and just disconnecting completely from devices. Just getting a book instead of reading it on the Kindle. I just get an actual book and reading it and touching it and smelling it. Give it a try. Don't take this opportunity for granted. If you can just print a mandala off the internet and start coloring, trust me, you will start to notice a difference in your eyes, in your mind. It's not gonna happen overnight, but if you make it a practice, if you're very upset or you're frustrated, I like to use it more for inspiration, for when I want to get in the here and now. If I'm ruminating a lot, if I'm having like very not like negative thoughts, let's put it that way, negative thoughts, okay, then I'll be like, okay, let me grab my mandala and I'm gonna get very zen and really think about the shapes and forms and the colors that I'm going to use and just be here and now. And like we say, we cannot be at 2 places at once. So if you're truly here, you won't be there ruminating and thinking, oh my God, I'm so angry at this person or at this situation. Give yourself the gift of 10 minutes a day. We all have 10 minutes a day. So if, instead of scrolling or instead of, like, what is it that you do? That at the end of the day you say, oh my God, what a waste of time. That's a waste of time. Well, use 5-10 minutes of that time. I'm not saying, oh my God, like change your habits overnight altogether. No, that's not what I'm suggesting. But if you take 5 to 10 minutes a day of the things that you do that are not vital, that are not essential for you, for yourself, for your happiness, for your well-being, then you can put them here. Put that focus, bring all that energy, all that attention into this, and then you will start to notice, oh wow, I feel calmer. I feel like my eyes get a break. My eyes, my head, my brain, my mind, oh my God, they get a break. I'm like, thank you. And this is why I'm sharing this with you today, because I think that it's a beautiful thing that we have. And as we said, it's been everywhere. It's from ancient times. The word mandala comes from the Sanskrit language. It's a Sanskrit word, and it's been here forever. Look, here it's something that I started that as you can see, it's like really tiny. And the only way we can do it is when we use very, very thin markers. Look what it says here. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung introduced the mandala to psychotherapy sessions. He believed that if we are allowed to choose the colors instinctively, it will help reveal the unconscious forces that lie deep within us. I'm gonna say that one more time. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung introduced the mandala to psychotherapy sessions. Imagine, Carl Jung, we all know Carl Jung. He introduced the mandala in his sessions. Because he believed that if we are allowed to choose the colors intuitively, instinctively, it will help reveal the unconscious forces that lie deep within us. Wow. Imagine how powerful the mandalas are. They carry power. So don't think it's just like, oh, this baby thing that children use. Look here. Through their symbolical content, mandalas exert a retroactive influence on the unconscious. They therefore possess a magical significance, like icons whose possible efficacy was never consciously felt by the patient. That's what psychiatrist Carl Jung says. Wow. Imagine. This is really neat. I actually like this. I hadn't touched this book in years. I had others, but I have also been focusing on other techniques, and then I had completely put this aside until a couple of weeks ago when I was looking for a gift to give to a friend, and I was like, what am I gonna give him? And he's not really into meditation or anything. He's like, I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know where to sit. No, I think it's dumb to just sit there with my hands like this and my eyes closed. And he thought it was ridiculous. He said, no, I don't think I could like just sit down and meditate. Like, who does that? And he was being like a little judgmental towards me. And I thought, oh wow, what a wonderful way to get him started if he really wants to start feeling zen and meditating and just being in the here and now. And I explained to him the here and now, the here and now, the here and now. And so I got him a book, and he's like, wow, okay, wow, now I need to buy my markers, my colors. He actually was welcomed the gift. Nowadays there's some others you can find, like they make others about birds and wildlife and all sorts of things. I have others. I can probably show you in a little bit. But now let's talk a little bit more about mandalas. Here it says, some think of the mandala as a means of reflecting on the journey through the seasons of the year. Work your way around the circle, giving your own interpretation of the colors of each season. I love this. For example, in the fall, you can do everything brown and orange and green. And then in spring, you can do pink and yellow and purple and violet. And I don't know, that's an idea. Explore. Give yourself 10 minutes a day. Sit like, I'm gonna color. And you'll be surprised as to the insights that you get while you're coloring your mandala. Nougat Cósmico doesn't color. He doesn't color. He does other things. but he is already very zen, so I don't think he needs it. I think we all know how present dogs already are. They are wonderful teachers when it comes to that. They are just perfect teachers in that aspect, in many aspects, but when it comes to being in the here and now, in the present moment, they are just so wonderful. And he's like, he just wants to lay down. He just wants to lay down. I just want to lay down. I just want to lay down. Don't you want to talk to people? Don't you want to say woof? Don't you want to share your ideas? You're not very active. You're not very active right now. Is there something you want to say to people? You want something you want to say to people? It's just his presence alone means a lot, and he's here with all of us, and I think I can make the connection between a mandala and him, Nougat Cósmico. He's so zen, he's so present, he's so calm, he's just so wow. So I wish I could get at that level of just being zen, no worry whatsoever, no dispute, pure love, pure happiness, pure peace. He's so peaceful. But I consider myself to be very peaceful within myself. But sometimes when I look at him, it's like, wow, to get at that level is like angelic. He's so angelical. So yeah, coming back to the mandalas, let's see if we have some other messages here. Here it gives you the idea to color black and white, which are the colors of the yin and yang, and they reflect the balance of the mandala. And it can look pretty impressive on the page as well. Like I said, here's an example of like how you can color the mandalas. So it really helps you unwind. It helps you relax. It doesn't have to be difficult. Here it says, mandalas are works of sacred art in Tibetan Buddhism. Its manual, the Mahavairoshana Sutra, states that the center of the mandala should be colored white, followed by circles of red, yellow, blue, and black. This is in Tibetan Buddhism. But then again, there are other things for Japanese, Celtic, different. For example, here, the mandala is a central and highly symbolic icon of Celtic artwork. You know, the Celts and the Tibetans are very far away from each other, geographically speaking. Like, if you look at my world map, they're super far. Patterns of harmony and balance and dark and light are woven through them, reflecting their belief in the continuity of life and the interconnection of all things. Wow. I'm impressed myself. And this is what I keep saying. The mandala is an ideal tool for relaxation or meditation. The circle directs your focus inward, and the intricate geometric patterns draw your concentration. Use your colors to help you lead your gaze along perpetual routes. Isn't that nice? See? Mandalas have often been painted as frescoes for the walls of temples and monasteries. You can create a unique piece of art for your own walls. Consider the colors and shades of the room when selecting your palette. So you can get creative. You can get creative. There's no limit. There's no right or wrong. There's no one way of doing it. This is the beauty of the mandalas. There are infinite possibilities of coloring it, infinite ways. In here, for example, the respected psychologist David Fontana believes that mandalas can help us to access progressively deeper levels of the unconscious, ultimately assisting the meditator to experience a mystical sense of oneness. This is what I've been talking about. You want to feel like you are one with the source, one with the creator, one with the universe, one with God. You want to get at that state here. It's a respected psychologist saying it. It's not just me saying, oh yes, meditation, come in here and now, color some, get your markers and color. Others are saying it too, and it's ancient. This is ancient wisdom. So you can color the way you want. And here it gives you a tip. For a change, try using colors. Try using the colors you believe you don't like. Used together, they might provide a clarity of thought, or you might even see them in a new light. Yeah, that's a challenge for you. Say you don't like the color brown. For a change, use the color brown in your mandala, and then you'll see like, oh, actually, yeah, brown looks good with pink. It makes a nice contrast. I like wearing brown and pink when I like I dress up to do certain things. Like, why not? Explore, discover, notice your sensations, notice how your mind is feeling, how your heart is feeling. Notice what you're feeling. Are you feeling happy? You're feeling moody? You're feeling sad? What are you feeling in the moment? And also explore. I like to explore with colors. Like, I think colors are linked to our emotions. And so say you're really angry and you come to color your mandala. What colors are you choosing? What colors connect you to your anger? What colors do you choose? When you're feeling joyful or happy, is it pink? Is it yellow? In my case, it's purple, like this kind of pink, like very light colors, baby blue, baby pink, very pastel, neutral colors. And when I'm feeling more like an extrovert and I just want to be more extravagant, I pick fuchsia, I pick more bright colors. It really is up to you to explore and to notice, okay, how am I feeling and why am I picking these colors? What might that mean? It's about self-exploration. What is happening? This is about for you to explore your inner world. Because remember, the more you come here, the more that you can go there. This is all, it's all here. The rest, it's a reflection. And also you can access deeper and higher levels of consciousness, but you also need to go inwards. Let me show you others that I have. Can I move a little bit? Do you want to stand up? I have others that I want to show them. Yeah. So for example, this is one of my favorites. It's about wildlife wonders. And it's more like illustrations and coloring. It's not actually a mandala in that way, but you can also use it to color, you see? It can also be a good way to come to the here and now and to meditate. This is another example. It could be an alternative. It's not the actual mandala, but it uses the similar patterns and things. This is not that tiny. There are others that are more, this is wildlife. If you think that mandalas are too difficult to start with, perhaps you can try an alternative. You can try, this is beautiful. See, I love the colors. I love the purple and blue contrast. It's one of my favorites. I like this. And like a more simple one is this one that I got. That it's a Japanese coloring book. It's a little bit in the idea of like coloring a mandala, but it's not a mandala, and it doesn't quite have the same purpose because it has, for example, here we see like a kimono or a geisha and the temples. This is similar in that aspect. This is just an example to give you alternatives, but my suggestion is that you try with actual mandalas, like the ones we saw here. See the difference? Because it's circular. Remember, mandala in Sanskrit means wheel or circle. That's the whole point. And it reminds us about the circles of life. The everything in life, it's, you know, cycles, seasons. See, it says here, some mandalas are considered to be symbols of sacred geometry, said to contain ancient religious values. Patterns often follow the Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio, the mathematical figures which appear across nature. Exactly. If you think about it, a spiral, a snail, a flower, a dandelion, everything. If you think about it, nature, it has patterns. It's all circular. Look at the cosmos. Look at the stars. Look at your cells inside. See, it's all connected. I really like this explanation of the sacred geometry. They say using mandalas to connect as a way to explain the sacred geometry of nature and connect to that. Because remember, we are natural beings. We come from nature. So there's all that sacred geometry in us as well. Look at your eyes. Look at the symmetry in your eyes. Look at the perfection in your fingerprints. So unique. Here it says, by combining the splendor and beauty of flowers with the mathematical magnificence of geometrical figures, mandalas illuminate how the natural world and the man-made world both contrast and complement each other. Wow. Isn't that neat? I just find it really neat. And once again, like here it says, match your palette to your mood. If you're in a contemplative frame of mind, head for the blues and greens. Feeling buoyant? Then hit the reds, oranges, and yellows with gusto. This is what I did when I was sitting at my father's house 6 years ago. That's all I have for today. That's all we have. At Nougat Cósmico, we're gonna go for our evening walk, our last walk of the day, and then we're gonna come back and probably do some coloring, use that time to meditate. We just had the full moon a couple of days ago. I think it's good and it's important to connect to the cycles of nature, the seasons. Like we just had the moon, you know, that's a cycle. We just had the full moon. And we're just gonna go outside and get some fresh air. But I really, really, really hope that you give yourself the opportunity to color a mandala. Try it. Print one for free from the internet. I'm sure there are some. I mean, I never do because I like buying books and I always support artists. But just give yourself that opportunity. You can get also like pencil colors. You don't have to get the expensive kind. But I mean, if you have them, yeah, feel free to use those. But once again, it's about keeping it simple, keeping it easy, keeping it accessible. You don't have to like have a budget to do any of these things. Find the things you already have around your house, or go to the dollar store and start. Because remember, the idea is for you to connect to your inner world. It's not to make luxurious lifestyle out of this. That's not the point. That's not the goal. The goal is not for you to spend money and just like not get any results. The goal is for you to be, hey, okay, I want to meditate. This is what I have, and I'm going to use the resources that I have. Okay. If you have the expensive ones, by all means, go for it. Or if you really want to invest in yourself, yes, go for it. Invest in those. But you can start with the color pencils if that's all you have for now. And then little by little, you can start upgrading. You try, you say, hey, I actually like this. I actually like coloring mandalas. This is going to be my daily evening meditation before I go to bed. You know what they say? We shall not have screen time 2 hours before bedtime. No TV, no computer, no tablet, nothing, because that affects our sleep. So if you're looking for an alternative, you're reading books, you're reading sacred scripture, you're meditating, you're praying, you're coloring mandalas, all that is a way of having a bedtime routine for you to prepare your body, your whole system to have a good rest, a proper night, a proper sleep, proper rest, and not be waking up all the time. So it's an invitation. Once again, everything we share here is up to you to decide whether to do it or not, if you resonate with it. But I suggest you try it. Don't believe me. Try it for yourself. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining me in Nougat Cósmico once again in an episode. He's starting to get tired now. Nougat, wake up. Let's go. We're done. Wake up. Stand up. Say bye to people. Say bye. Say goodbye. Say bye. Say bye to people. Say goodbye. Say bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna get going. Yes, that's all we have for today. Tell them you'll be back soon. Tell them you'll be back soon. Say we'll be back soon. Let's go. Let's go. No, now you want to stay? Well, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Bye. See you soon.